Hello everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I am going to share with you today how I planned the week of May 2nd through May 8th in my Happy Planner. This is the 2015-2016 Gold Dot Edition. As you can see, I like to take my pages out of the discs to do my actual planning. It makes it easier to write and stamp on the pages. It has less bulk behind them and I can get a clearer impression or write more smoothly. I'm using the Scraptastic Club Plan On It kit from May and also the May This Life Noted kit as well to document all of our activities and appointments this week, and then also to add photos and stories. I like to do both stickers and stamping. It's the way that feels the most natural to me and that I like the pages the best at the end. I find that when I do one or the other only, I don't like the pages as well. So like right there, for example, I used to stamp the little notebook stamp and then a little teardrop sticker together, and I think it really absolutely meets my needs the most perfectly, and so that's why it's a great system. That's also how I like to use those teardrop stamps, is just for one word or a time or something like that to notate in addition to something else. So for example, I wouldn't use a full sticker for just the time, and maybe it wouldn't have fit. It would have on that particular sticker or stamp, excuse me, but it's okay. I also, another thing I like to do that you see right there in that middle circle sticker that says AP test is the layering of stickers. I think that they end up looking super cute, and I just like that the way that multiple items look together, and that's why you'll find that I use that quite a bit. Now on the Wednesday morning where I wrote late start on that banner sticker, I cannot wait for the new editions of the Happy Planners that don't say morning, afternoon, evening, and they're just a plain header. I'm really excited about that. I think it'll be very exciting to not have to block those out with either washi or a sticker or something like that to fit my own personal needs. So I am definitely looking forward to that. Now here's another example of how I like to layer stickers. This one I am notating a meeting that I need to attend via Skype and just using a couple of little stickers to do that. And like I said already, I just think they look great together and it can be functional and look good all at the same time, which is kind of my MO for the entire project to begin with. Now this week is a little bit more simple than some. A lot of my weeks are super busy, and I'll find that I have a ton of things to take care of in terms of appointments and activities, but this week was a little bit lighter on some of those things, so I was able at the end to add a couple of decorative elements, which is really exciting. It's nice to have that as a change. Maybe, 1 week a month or something is a little less full of stuff, and so that's why it's really kind of an exciting week for me to get the chance to embellish just a tiny bit. I don't go crazy. It's still kind of the same thing for me, that I really like to remain mostly functional, and that's it. Now this little quadrant of the page is going to be quite a few stickers all sort of pieced together using a few different stickers to layer and then sort of building upon it. So right there in the afternoon section for Thursday, I've layered a hexagon and an arrow to notate an event, but then I'm going to build upon that also for the Friday evening slot as well. Now, my Friday mornings are always almost exactly the same. I do the same thing every Friday morning, and so it's kind of fun for me to find different ways to make that work. It's one of the things that I don't love to do the exact same thing in my planner either from day to day or week to week, and so I'm finding that I'm always sort of changing things up. This week I used that stamp, which is really great for notating a particular event, and then a small little Scraptastic Club star sticker to put the time there. It really turned out fabulous. And then I'm using a decorative coffee pot. Is that a French press or something like that? I don't know. I don't really drink coffee. To notate the coffee that I bring in for my son's teacher when I volunteer. And it's super cute and totally different. I absolutely have not used that particular sticker before, so it really probably brought a smile to my face when I did this because I love using different things each time. Now we're getting to my favorite part of the week, which is Friday night and Saturday, the whole weekend thing. I love it. obviously, as do most people. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier about building upon. So I'm using those hexagon stickers to sort of create a whole focal point on this layout, though they're different events, but they still go together great. And so the two are purely functional, and then I just add that teeny little tiny star in the middle just for a decorative element. And what's cool about it to me is that, yeah, it's absolutely decorative. I don't have to add that star. I don't need it for anything, but it's still not crazy or over the top. And it's definitely why I can still continue to call my planning functional or, decoratively functional or something like that. Now, as you can see right there, I store my Scraptastic Club planner stickers in different types of stickers in those Avery L pockets, and it works great for me to keep different types of stickers together, and it helps me find things a little bit faster, because if I just stored all the stickers together, I would have definitely a hard time finding the ones that I was looking for, because when you're sorting through tons and tons of sheets, it can be very difficult to find just that one. So now I am going to start adding some photos directly to my planner pages, which is definitely one of my most favorite things to do. And the other thing that I love to do is use punches to punch different shapes out of my photos. Because if I only used rectangles, the whole thing would get kind of repetitive and boring for me. Each person has their own different way of doing it, so that's absolutely okay. But for me, I like things to be different and varied, and that's why the different punches. Mostly I use the circles, but I have definitely in the past used the stars as well. I love it. So then when I add a rectangular photo right here, it just feels natural and like the whole thing is pretty varied and not all exactly the same. This is a great way for me to get a lot of photos on a layout. So I will also obviously use a pocket page like I always do, but adding photos directly to my pages lets me get more photos onto the page than I would have ordinarily been able to, and I absolutely love that. Now here's an example of how I layer the stickers again, like I talked about already. I like to pull 2 or 3 different stickers from different sheets and put them all together. And most of the time I do it to either journal or notate an event or an activity. And this time will be no different, using a hexagon, a label, and then also a heart, just to notate that this particular photo and day is Mother's Day. Now I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape to the edge of both of these pages. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and I find most weeks I actually forget about it because by the end I'm so ready to sort of be done and put the layout away that I forget to add the washi tape. So I'm just going to add that washi and then pull out my Happy Planner punch and just punch right through the washi tape and then add it right to my book. Now I do struggle a tiny bit with getting that in there, but I don't know that it's so much the washi tape as it is other projects in the past that I've stuck in that planner punch and then had a little bit of problems with. It's hard for me to tell, but either way it still functions fantastically for me, and it doesn't stop me from doing some of the things that I like to do with my punch. I'm just going to add the washi tape right over the afternoon header for Tuesday and Wednesday. It's super cute. I really like it. It helps draw a little bit of pink into the layout to go with some of the other pink elements. And then it just adds a little bit of decorative flair to the first half of the week, which doesn't have as many activities going on. Now again, I'm going to punch this photo. It's not really like me to punch more than one circle in a week, but I'm living on the edge this week, so it's all good, right? One of the things I like to do with the circles as well is cut a flat edge on one of the sides so then it can butt up against one of the straight lines and still look like it totally belongs there, and it's not completely 100% circular. And I just really enjoy the way that that looks a lot, and then it also helps save a little bit of room as well, especially if you were going to print a larger photo or use a larger circle punch. As you can see, I tore a little bit of the paper when I was pulling it out of the punch. Like I said, I had some previous things that I used in it that I probably shouldn't have, but it's okay. It does not affect the integrity of the paper in the discs, so I really am not even remotely bothered by it, and I don't worry about it at all. Now you can see I've pulled out the pocket protector, or page protector, I'm sorry, that has 3 slots, a 4x6 and 2 3x4s. I'm going to, as I have in the past, still use 3x4 cards in the big slot. I will just use my sewing machine later to divide it up. I could absolutely use the fuse tool, and I have before, and I will again, I'm sure, but I like using the sewing machine, and I like the way that it looks too, so it's kind of a no-brainer for me. Now I'm going through the This Life Noted kit and finding some cards that I want to use both for layering photos, smaller photos, and for using for decoration or for journaling. I'm trying to stick to a specific color scheme, which is sort of a yellow and blue, because that's the bulk of my decorations and stickers on the page, but I'm not married to that, and it's absolutely totally fine if there's a couple of smaller colors included. As you can see, I've already printed my photos using the Canon Selfie like I did on the smaller ones, and I've got some 3x4s, and then I've also got some smaller photos. So those smaller photos I'm just going to adhere right onto the cards and then slide those right into the pockets as well. What I love about that is that you're still able to get a decorative element along with your photos, but you're not losing the photo at all. You're absolutely still able to include it while including that decorative side too. And I really always think that's super fun. Now I'm opening a package of these Becky Higgins die cuts. I love them. They're gorgeous. They have a bunch of silver foil, and silver is really definitely my jam right now. And so I'm just going to layer a couple of those right on top of that photo of my son, but not cover any of the important parts of the photo, which are those Donald Trump socks that he is gleefully holding up. So I just will trim down the label and then trim the very edge of the text that says This Life True Story, or True Life True Story, sorry. And then it's super cute. I love the way that it's embellished, but I mean, it's obviously crazy simple. There's nothing outrageous there, and there is still nothing dimensional. As I've talked about in weeks past, I am not adding dimensional embellishments to this particular project because the planner at the end of the year will be thick enough the way that it is, and so adding chipboard or enamel dots or some of those really fun elements that I love will add way too much bulk. And so for me, I'm keeping it as flat as possible. Paper clips are really kind of, you know, the craziest that I'm getting, and in all honesty, I probably shouldn't be including paper clips either, as they definitely have some bulk as well. However, sometimes, like in this particular case, you can't help it, and they're so cute, and I want to add them. So now I'm finished with the front part of the insert, which is just awesome. I love this project. It's so fun. I feel like it's a really good glimpse at our everyday life, and that's why this memory planning is still working out awesomely for me, because I'm able to document the true details of our day-to-day life, which it can definitely be hard to do, and so that's why including planning along with my memory keeping is absolutely awesome, and I love it. Now I'm just adding some alphabet stickers to notate this particular event. Obviously I could have just written it with a pen on top of that label, but adding the alphabet stickers is fun too. I am not lining them up precisely because it is hard to do so. I don't know if you often try to do that, but it is hard. So for me, I like to add them in a wonky pattern, and then it looks like that's how it's supposed to be, and there's no need to worry about them being perfect. Now there's another example of just using a smaller photo adhered right on top of a card. It looks super cute, and then also it's not even a problem to get both the decorative and the functional onto your project. Now again, another example of using a die cut right on top of the photo and the card, and this time I will use it for just to notate the place that we were at, and it turns out super cute. I love it. That little banner is awesome, and then it also tells the story as well. So that's really why it's so fun to keep this project for me kind of simple, because it shows me how things can still be super cute without going crazy. Now here's one of my favorite techniques to take a blank journaling card and draw my own lines with a black pen and my ruler. Now this helps add that really bold, eye-catching element to the card with the lines, and then I also get to journal as well. And so this is really one of the things that's sort of my favorite about memory keeping is able to tell the stories, but in this project they are short and concise, and I definitely don't go crazy. Now I wanted to use that pink camera die cut because it's super cute, but I need to trim the little edge of that text so that I can slide that camera right underneath, because that is so cute and I absolutely love it, and I like to just sort of do a little bit of layering without going crazy. However, the camera is a little bit bigger than I need it to be. So I'm just going to trim off the excess white that's around the outside, which normally is part of what makes it really adorable, but for this case I need it to be just ever so slightly smaller. So I'll adhere it down and then layer the little strip right on top of it. Now I'm going to go back and still add a little bit more decoration to the planner pages after I add the insert, because on that left side there's definitely a little bit of room for decor, which is exciting. A simple banner die cut like the ones that I already talked about that I absolutely love is perfect for a little bit, and then I also can do a little bit of stamping right on top of it to make it even cuter. So now as you can see then just a little bit of adhesive right there and it's super cute. But then I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I'm wondering if I can make that even better. So I'm able to find a super cute die cut in the package, and then it's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you make it a great day. I hope you enjoyed my video. And if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. It lets me know what you like to see, and YouTube too. Thank you so much.